What is up, everybody? I am Impendingduff. Welcome back to quick tip number, I believe this is 4. I recorded these a year ago, so just a little insight on this whole kind of series, I guess. Every time you see one of these, they will be a year old. So this video is a year old. I filmed it last August of 2020, the year from hell, right? Anyway, when I first started these quick tips, I didn't realize that I was going to be here a year later, having done 52 consecutive weekly videos. So these early ones are a little kind of unpolished, if you will. They were named quick tips literally for the reason that I just turned on that camera and started talking and painting and giving my advice and my experience at the time. Granted, a year later, I've learned some new techniques, and I'm sure a year down the line you will see changes or updates to certain topics depending on. But the point being is, this video particularly, I must have been really tired because it was right after a stream, so it was after midnight, which it's 1 in the morning right now, and I just got off Twitch. So you can see the difference already when you get into the video. But I could have been sick at the time. I heard myself sniffling and coughing. Who knows? But the information is still valid and valuable. So as a kind of way to show a little bit of vulnerability here by releasing this series a year later after being exclusive on my Patreon, only to my patrons, I figured I'll release them to the public now a year later because this information is valuable and should be shared. So please take this at least production value with a grain of salt going into this quick tip, but I hope it helps you achieve a little bit more understanding on how you can use varnish in various ways, especially for saving a frosted mini. That's ultimately the end product of this quick tip. As we go forward, these quick tips are going to get longer, they're going to get more in depth, and they're going to be much more polished as I started recording them during the day as opposed to in the middle of the night when my family is sleeping. So enjoy. If you do like it, please do me a favor, smash the subscribe button here on YouTube. It's absolutely free to do so. It'll help me out big time. I'm trying to grow this channel, and as a full-time content creator, this is literally my job. I make my living basically teaching at conventions like Adepticon and Gen Con and Warfare Weekend, and I can name them all, right? I also do the tutorials weekly on Patreon, so if you enjoy the information you're getting, you can subscribe to my Patreon, which I'll leave a link down below, and get these a year in advance. Plus, I have an archive of almost 70 other tutorials available on Patreon. So for $5 a month, you get access to everything. Check it out if you're interested. Otherwise, enjoy the quick tip, and I hope it earns your subscribe here on YouTube. Take care. I'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
Alright, so today's quick tip, I just wanted to kind of cover clear coats. It's come up a couple of times. I want to show you guys a quick little trick. I'll be using AK Interactive's Ultra Matte as well as their regular glossy varnishes. These are airbrush, but they can be brushed on. They claim you can brush them on. I don't see why you can't. It literally says new glossy formula for all kinds of scale models. It can be used with brush, you use with airbrush, dilute with your own thinner. They recommend their own thinner, but I mean, literally, that's so they can sell more stuff to you. It's water soluble. You can thin it with water if you need to, but it can go through any airbrush you want. My chair's on my hose. There we go. I picked metallic because I feel like metallic will be much easier to kind of show off what I'm talking about. I've sprayed this model gold, and I've also sprayed it with 2 layers of gloss just so that you can see some extra shine on it. Now, I did this on stream earlier, so if you were watching stream, this isn't going to be that much of a difference, but the second thing I do is going to be more the quick tip, right? I got my brush here. You never put anything in your brush without at least 1 or 2 drops of flow improver. I'm going to put in some flow improver, and we're going to get our ultra matte here. Now I want to illustrate this ultra matte. It gets rid of the shine like right now. Michigan Toy Soldier did send me home with a bottle of the new AK 3rd Gen matte varnish. Ultra matte is like a bazillion times more matte than regular matte. I know it's silly, but it's still not quite satin, so it's gonna be knocking back all that shine. Just, I want you guys to be careful that you don't paint a beautiful model like, say, a Inquisitor, where she is predominantly metallic, or Necrons, and then you spray it with ultra matte and you're like, oh shit, this thing is no longer metallic at all. It's just flat and it looks like gray or yellow paint. We're not going to do that. This is the ultra matte, okay? Now I'm just going to spray it on this cloak right in this region here so that you guys can see it happen in real time. There's that shine. A lot of glare here. And I'm going to hit it with just a quick little coat here, and then I'm going to spray air, and you're going to see it in real time. See that shine just go away? It's gone. One more layer just for proof of concept here. It looks wet, or it looks shiny now because the varnish is wet, but as it dries, it will knock that metallic back so quick. And there you go. There it is. If you pay attention to this side versus this side, lots of glare coming from the left side, right? See all that glare there? Then you come over here, and there isn't a speck of glare in this region right here. Not a speck. That ultra matte just knocks it back so quick. It almost takes the metallic right out of it, right? So what I want to show you, the trick, the quick tip, is that there is no reason why you can't mix the ultra matte with the gloss. And I'm just going to put a couple more drops of the flow improver in the cup here. And I'm going to mix this 50-50 to kind of get myself a satin finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get it a 50-50 mix here. And then show you the difference. It'll still knock back some of that shine, but your metallics will look metallic, and this will be great for like skins, obviously the metallics. Somebody had asked me at Michigan Toy Soldier, how do I clear coat if I'm clear coating satin, like literal satin? Well, this is your mix right here. Lots of glare on this boy, lots of shiny. In fact, let's just do it right there. And you hit this with this little mix. Give it some air. And now you've got a little bit of a knockback because of the matte, but it's still very much got its shiny property. You still very much, it's not reflective because of the gloss. Like you see that real sharp glare in there? That's all from the gloss, that's not the metallic. But then you come over here and it's just flat and dingy, right? But then you come over here and you can see that illustrious shine still, even like that. Oh yeah, that's good. You can see all that shine in there. So you've created a satin varnish, if you will. There's no reason why you can't. Look at the two side by side there. There's no reason why you can't mix those varnishes together 50-50 to get yourself a satin finish. Now the other thing I wanted to do to tell you about real quick is frosting. A lot of people, and I'm not talking cakes, a lot of people complain about their miniatures becoming frosted when they're clear coating, be it with rattle can or whatever. See this mini? See how glossy he is? Let me show you what happens on this backpack with this again as I talk about it. If you end up with a frosted mini, that is not a cereal, frosted mini wheats. What I'm talking about is if you're a rattle can clear coater and you end up coming back inside and you find that your miniature has like a cloudy appearance to it. It's very milky in appearance, you know. It kind of got this like white haze to it. That is frosting. The easiest way to fix a frosted miniature, and don't panic, don't freak out because it's easy to finish, or easy to fix. Come in with a coat or two of the glossiest gloss you can possibly get, and then knock it back with matte one more time. But this time you're going to want to go thinner with the matte, so hold the can farther back or even closer. It depends on the situation you were spraying in. If you were too close, obviously pull back a little bit. If you were really far out, like 12, 14 inches, try to pull in closer to like 8 inches and see. But there's that satin finish that knocked it back. You can still see some reflection in there, but it's not in your face like, see his gun holster there? It's not in your face. And that's a really good mixture for skin. You don't want skin to be ultra flat, right? You want it to have somewhat of a little bit of a reflective property. So I'm actually going to take this, I'm going to dial it in a little more, and I'm going to hit this Jacob Jansen model just on his skin so that I can get that kind of satiny look to his skin as opposed to pure flat. We don't want skin to be pure flat, kids. Skin does have some sort of shine to it, at least if you eat your Wheaties and exfoliate or whatever the kids do these days. But that's my quick tip for you. Mix your varnishes, mix equal parts gloss and ultra matte to get a nice satin varnish for skin tones, satins, metallics, etc. And don't be afraid to deal with a frosted miniature by hitting it with gloss, letting that cure fully, and then hitting it again with matte. If it's frosted extremely, you may not be able to save it, so I just want to put that out there. This isn't a guarantee. But if it has a little bit of frosting, hit it with a gloss coat, let it cure, hit it with a second gloss coat, let it cure. That gloss coat should get rid of that frosting, and then you hit it with matte. And that's the quick tips for the week on varnishing your miniatures. Thank you guys so much for being there, for being patrons, whichever metal claw works best. There it is. I'll see you guys next week.